Hey guys, it's Eric with Low VA Rates, and today I want to talk to you about closing cost assistance for VA loans. One of the amazing benefits of a VA loan is that you can get the loan without making any kind of down payment. However, you'll still usually need to pay closing costs, which can still mean the need to save thousands of dollars up front in preparation for buying a home. Now in today's video, while you're watching, I don't want you to forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel or Facebook or whatever social media platform you're watching. Please subscribe with that little button down to your right. In today's video, we're going to talk about closing cost assistance, and we're going to go over what it is, how it's available to you on a VA loan, and whether there's any special closing cost assistance for disabled veterans compared to non-disabled veterans, and what your options might be. Now, if you have not noticed, I'm wearing red. You've probably also noticed it's Friday. We wear red here at Low VA Rates every single Friday. It is an outward expression of how we feel inside. We love our military. We love our veterans, deployed or not. We are like a sea of red here every Friday. It's an amazing sight to see. I wish I could see you, and I hope you're all wearing red with us here at Low VA Rates. Now, what is closing cost assistance? Okay? We all know what closing costs are. We just had a video a couple Fridays ago about that. And assistance. Today we're going to talk about closing cost assistance. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't. You're going to totally understand it when I'm done talking to you today. Closing cost assistance is pretty much just what it sounds like. It is money that you can receive to help you pay for your home loan closing costs. It commonly comes in the form of either a loan or a grant, and these are special programs. Many of these programs require that you meet specific conditions or criteria, such as being a first-time home buyer. There's a lot more closing cost assistance programs out there for first-time buyers than there are for seasoned or experienced buyers. Now, sometimes the program is flexible, and the money can be used for either your down payment, which we know there is none on a VA loan, or closing costs. And because veterans don't have to make a down payment, this kind of program could really work well for you if you qualify. However, different programs have different rules, so you need to make sure that you meet all the requirements, such as that home buyer status. Are you first, second, third time home buyer? A lot of these are restricted under geographic location. We'll start to explain some of this as we go forward. Now, you can often find closing cost assistance at the local, state, or federal government levels. There are also many charitable or private organizations that fund closing cost assistance both nationally and locally. Let's do this. Let's answer this question. Can you get your closing cost assistance on a VA loan? Now, as a veteran, you might wonder if there's anything special for you, the veteran, as it pertains to these closing cost assistance programs. And I'm going to give you the answer. Yes, there is. However, finding them, it does take some extra work. Sometimes it's a lot of extra work, but we hope this video helps you speed up that process by educating you on where you can go and what you can do to find them. For example, let's just say you're a veteran in Iowa. We were able to find a $5,000 Iowa military homeownership assistance program. This program is only available to service members and veterans purchasing a home in Iowa. So, look, you might live in Iowa right now and you might be getting all excited, but you're moving to Georgia. You can't use it. This is a government program to help spur homeownership in the great state of Iowa. Okay, if you want more information about this because you're going to be buying in Iowa, check out the link in the description box below. In fact, we're going to include a couple of different links in that box below, so make sure you go all the way down to the description box when you're done watching this video. In addition to the Iowa program, our quick search was also able to find similar programs for the military in California, Virginia, and right here in the great state of Utah where we're located. We also found an article that you can go look at militarybenefits.info that lists some pretty cool programs state by state. You can also do a much more targeted search for programs in your area by typing search terms like closing cost assistance for veterans. And then you can be more specific, closing cost assistance for veterans in Utah County or in LA County, wherever you are. As an example, if you're buying in Colorado, you would go search closing cost assistance for veterans in Colorado. Finally, in addition to these state-specific programs, we were also able to find a charitable organization. It's called the Military Housing and Assistance Fund that offers closing cost assistance to veterans in 48 out of the 50 states. Like I already mentioned, in the description box below this video, you'll find links to all of these programs. We also know that they are probably not the only organization out there that does this, so keep doing some digging. Ask some of your military friends and colleagues and see what you can find. We would love it more than anything if you came back and commented with what you're finding so that we can use this tool and resource going forward for all of our military veterans. Now, what about special closing cost assistance for disabled veterans? Okay? Sometimes I get so intense on these videos because I love educating you guys that I forgot I have my trusty whiteboard back here. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to write the URL just in case you haven't gotten to the description box below. Military benefits.info. Okay? It's very important that it's .info, not .com, not .org. Militarybenefits.info. Now, let's talk about special closing cost assistance for our disabled veterans. Just like there are unique closing cost programs out there for regular veterans, there's going to also be some that exist specifically for our disabled veterans. Again, because these specific programs can vary from program to program, state to state, you're going to have to make sure you spend extra time digging and searching. Just know this, they do exist. We found one with just a 10-second Google search. Where do you think the link is? It's in the box below. You should also still qualify for any military-specific assistance programs, even if they don't specifically mention disability. Finally, though it's not a closing cost assistance program per se, as a disabled veteran, you are qualified, as we've mentioned in many videos, to have your VA funding fee waived. Now, depending on the type of VA loan you're getting and whether or not you've used your VA home loan benefits in the past, this could save you anywhere from 0.5% all the way up to 3.6%. That's a lot of money. So to our military veterans that are disabled, please make sure you're not being charged the VA funding fee on any VA loan. This usually accounts for the biggest chunk of your closing costs, so it is a huge benefit for our disabled veterans. Let's talk about closing cost benefits with VA loans. In addition to all of these closing cost assistance programs, it's also important to remember the inherent benefits of the VA loan itself. For example, you don't have to make a down payment. That means you can save your money up faster because you're not putting it towards closing costs. Or you might be able to afford a larger home. On top of that, the VA limits the closing costs that you can be charged, keeping them lower and in some cases just making them non-allowable. We've talked about that, but let's just go over some of these other closing costs that are not allowable on VA loans. Processing, underwriting, notary fees, escrow fees, and the list is very, very long. On top of limiting the closing costs themselves, VA loans also allow the seller, when you're buying a home, to pay part or all of the closing costs for you. With these seller concessions, as they're referred to, okay, this isn't really seller concessions aren't really a program, if you will, to assist you with the closing costs, but the VA does allow the seller to assist you by allowing them to pay up to 4% of your loan amount in seller concessions. And since closing costs on VA loans are normally around 3 to 5%, a lot of times you can get the seller to cover 100% of your closing costs for you. Just be aware that seller concessions are less common today because this is a seller's market. What do we mean by a seller's market? We have way less homes for sale than we do people looking. If you're out there buying a home right now, you know what I mean. It's very unlikely that anyone selling their home today is going to be willing to cover your closing costs. But that changes in time, and at some point it will be a buyer's market again. And if you're watching this video during a buyer's market, ask for seller concessions. Another benefit of the VA loan program is that you can usually roll at least some of the closing costs into your loan balance instead of paying them out of pocket at closing. On a purchase loan, for example, you get to roll that VA funding fee right into your loan balance. On streamlines or on IRRRLs, you can roll all of your closing costs into the loan, unless, of course, we've got videos on this, but if you're paying more than 2 discount points, anything over the 2% in discount points, you will have to bring to closing, but that almost never happens. On a VA cash out refinance, you can roll all of the fees into the loan as long as you are not going over the 100% maximum loan to value limit on VA mortgages. Something else that we don't talk about often, but you should be aware of, there's something known as lender credits, which allows the lender to cover closing costs for you. A lot of times you might take a slightly higher interest rate to increase the amount of lender credits that you're able to get, but that's not always the case either. Sometimes the lender may be willing to give you credits towards your closing costs just to get the loan approved or get the loan to meet certain guidelines. Finally, this last one isn't part of the VA loan program itself, but as a service member, you have something that's called Basic Allowance for Housing, or BAH. You may be able to set aside a portion of your BAH and save it towards closing costs for buying a home. Keep that in mind. So there you have it. We hope you found all of this information about how you can afford closing costs on a VA loan very helpful. If you have additional questions, you can give us a call. We always love you leaving a comment below the video. Therefore, we can go back and forth with each other and also allow others to see that dialogue and learn from that experience. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next week at the same time.